Hey, this is William Miller, author of Nobleman for Literary Rebel, doing this series on AMS ad campaigns. Today I'm going to be talking about how to examine your campaigns to see what's working, what's not. I'm going to show you how to get rid of the ones that aren't working, and I'm going to show you how to sort of tweak the ones that are working. I am doing this real time. So you're just gonna follow along with me. No tricks, nothing up my sleeve. This is how I do it, and I've been able to get a pretty good ROI going on, and I'm going to show you just how easy this is. So right now, as you can see, I'm in my Amazon ads dashboard, right? These are all of the ads that I have running. As you can probably see, I got a whole bunch of them, right? The reason I have so many, because you are going to quickly find when you start trying to advertise through Amazon, you're going to find that it's very, very difficult to get Amazon to actually take your money. Which is weird if you have advertised through Facebook or any other channels. You will already know that they'll take your money. You might not get anything back for it, but they'll take your money all right. Amazon, you have the exact opposite problem. Part of that is because there are so many authors out there that are trying to advertise aggressively that Amazon can afford to be picky about whose money they're taking and whose books they're showing. So you're going to have a really hard time getting Amazon to show your ads and spend your money, and that's why you need to go be in your ads dashboard pretty often. I don't do this as often as I should. Really, you should do it about once a week. I probably get around to it once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or once a month. But without further ado, let's jump right into this, because I'm going to try and keep this video as short as possible. So I'm in my ads dashboard. These are all the ads that I have running, okay? And it will probably, when you go into your ads dashboard, it will probably have them organized by date, your newest, latest ads first. As you can see on my newest ads, a lot of those aren't starting to even show yet, right? If you're looking right here, you're seeing it looks like, oh my goodness, it's not selling anything. These ads haven't been up long enough for me to get accurate sales data from that. So don't worry about your brand new ads. If your ads have been running for a couple of weeks, then we can start to work with it. One of the easiest ways to tailor your ads and tweak them to get rid of the ones that don't work is to click on this button right here, the ACOS button. That's measuring what you spend versus what you make, right? The way to understand ACOS, really simple, right? Lower is better, higher is bad, right? If you have a low ACOS, that means you're spending less than you're making. If you have a high ACOS, then you're spending more than you're making, and the tipping point is 100%. At 100%, you're spending $1 to make $1, and that's okay. I mean, you're breaking even. At 101%, you're spending $1 to make 99 cents. That's not good. So if you click it once, it's going to show you the ACOS starting from 0, working your way up. What you're going to see here at the beginning of my list are either brand new ads that haven't started to populate. I haven't started to get feedback on these ads yet, so we can ignore those. And then you're also going to see some ads that were either rejected or I've paused those and terminated them. Now, the reason I've paused and terminated some of these ads is because they were not getting me any ROI, right? I was spending money and I wasn't making any money. You can see right here, I was advertising Noble Vengeance, and my keyword was Brad Thor and Brad Thor related things. I had a bunch of impressions. My clicks were costing about 27 cents per click. I had spent $8 and I made 0. So I turned this ad off. And that's the case for a lot of these that I've already been working with. Moving down a little further, I'm going to come down here so you can see this. And start right here. This is an ad for Noble Intent, and it's an automatic targeting ad. I'm spending $10 a day. I'm getting about 51,000 impressions so far. Clicks are costing me 11 cents. That's super cheap, man. If you can get that right there, that's awesome. I've spent $2.85 in total, okay? So let me show you how slowly Amazon spends your money. I created this all the way back in April. And so far, grand total, I've spent $2.85. So don't freak out and think, oh, Amazon's going to spend all my money. I spent $2.85. I've made $33.90. My A cost is 8.4. That's super duper. First of all, I'm going to leave that running. I'm also going to up the daily spend on this. Okay, now the way you do that is real easy. Just click. And you can go right down here and you can turn this up. I'm going to turn it up to 15. Click save. Done and done. All right, that's all there is to it. That's how easy it is to change what you're spending per day on your ads. Now that said, right, here's the kicker. That probably won't change the performance of that ad, like, at all. I mean, it's not going to change how that ad performs. I've taken ads that are performing really, really well, and I've jacked those things up to $100 a day, and guess what? Amazon still spends like, 30 cents a day. So there you have it. I mean, you can turn up how much you're spending. It probably won't make a difference. Moving right along, we've still got 9%, 12%, 15%. These are all good ads. This one especially, really, really good, right? $55 to make $314. Hey, we're happy with that, right? Again, you can see I've already gone through, and because I usually start at $5 or $10, and this one's up to 20, so you can see I've already gone in and increased the spend limit on that. I doubt it's made any difference. So as long as we're under 100% on these, we're good to go, right? Means we're spending less than we're making, and that's what we like. So we're going to keep cruising right along. Here we've got 99%, right? So I spent $32 to make $32. At 102, I've spent $101 to make $98. Now that's not a real good ROI, but, and here's the kicker. Here's where this gets a little tricky. Let's say, first of all, that, like me, you have more than one book, okay? It's conceivable that you can use the first book in your series as a loss leader, which I effectively do. I spend more money to advertise Nobleman than I make from it. There's my dirty secret. I'm actually spending money to advertise Nobleman because I know that about 70% of the people who read Nobleman are going to go pick up the second and third book. And when I get the fourth book out, they're going to pick up the fourth book, and the fifth book and the sixth book, so on and so forth. So it's okay to me to spend a little bit extra on Nobleman, right, so that I can get people into what's called my sales funnel. Right. Now that's a choice that you're gonna, that's something you're gonna have to sort of weigh in your own mind. If you've only got 2 books, are you willing to use the first one as a loss leader to get people to pay for that second book? I'm okay with that to an extent. And this one here is actually for my crafting fiction book. Again, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'll let it run. On the next one down, this is Nobleman suggested keywords. I spent $56 to make 53. Again, I'm okay with using Nobleman as a loss leader. What I'm gonna do for you guys, here's one that didn't go well. What I'm gonna do for you guys is, you know what, tack with it. Let's go all the way. Okay. Here's one I'm gonna work on. I'm down here at the bottom of my list, and as you can see, These were the ones where my ACOS was just unacceptable. All the way down here at the bottom, I had almost 1,000%. I spent $8 and I only made $1. That's definitely not what we want. That just wasn't working out for me, so I turned it off. Coming back up, my worst ACOS is 187, and again, that's on Nobleman. That's getting to the unacceptable range, right? That means I'm basically spending $2 to get somebody to buy a book that's only 99 cents, and I make 30 cents on that book. That's a bit more than I want to spend to get people into my sales funnel. That means they effectively have to buy Noble Vengeance and Noble Intent before I make any money. And even at that, I only make about $2. So let's see if we can help this ad out, right? We're just gonna click on the ad. All right. So here's our back end on our ad, and you can see all of the keywords that I'm targeting here. And first of all, I'm gonna tell you why this ad isn't working out real well for me, because I've only got 8 keywords going on this. I don't know why, but for some reason ads with more keywords work better, and less keywords don't work as well. Don't ask me why. I don't know what the algorithm is there. But again, we can separate this up by the costs, or pardon me, the ACOS, and we can find out which keywords are working real well. Right, so Jake Noble is doing well. I spent $2 and I made $3. And Noble, I spent 89 cents to make 99 cents. Now books, that's no good. I spent $17 to make $5. All right, real simple fix here. Come over here, click that button, and hit pause. Right, now I'm no longer spending for books. Now you're going to need to monitor this, because it may just stop delivering altogether, and I expect that's what this is going to do. And if that's the case, that's okay, fine, whatever. I'll just turn this ad off completely, because again, I'm not making enough money on it. But books was getting all of the impressions. Right, the other 2 keywords are not really getting much impressions. So this may just make this campaign stop delivering, and if it does, fine. I come back in another week or so, and I'm still, and that ACOS hasn't changed a little bit for the better. Fine, I shut this down completely. Let's go back to so one thing you may want to know is results per page here. Click on that and click all. When you've only got 10 ads running, it's not gonna make any difference. But when you're like me and you've got a whole bunch of ads, then that's when you really need it. So I'm gonna zoom on down to the bottom of my list here again. This is the one that I just tweaked. The next one is, I'm targeting Robert Ludlum. This is a fairly old ad. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I told you don't need to put in the naming of your ads. Right, you have a lot of these internet gurus that'll tell you got to put the name of the book and your target audience and the date that you created it. You don't need to put the date you created it. Right, it's right there. It's duh. Okay, not that hard to find out how long this ad's been up. This ad's been up over a year now. Right. It is not performing real well for me. For this one, you know what? To heck with it. Let's just pause it. Pause them rather than terminate them. You just never know when you're gonna want to get one back, right? The Manning Brothers 168 again. Boy, $15, and I made $8 off of it. To heck with it. Let's pause it. Okay. Our next is 160. Let's do this. Let me show you a trick here. I'm going to open this one up in a new window. This is advertising Nobleman, and it's suggested keywords, and I've gotten a lot of good results from suggested keywords. This is getting a good amount of impressions for me, and it's pretty low cost on our cost per click. So this is a good one to just see if we can tweak it a little bit and make it perform better. So I've clicked on it and I've opened it in a new window. Here we are. This is all of the good Lord golly, that's a lot of keywords. Okay, results per page, we're going to look at all, and then we're going to do the cost, the ACOS. Alright, we're going to scroll down and see which of those are performing real well and which of them aren't working well for me at all. Again, book and books tend to get real high impressions, but you're spending a lot and you're not making much. So here's how we're going to try and tweak this ad, okay? We've found the one keyword that's costing us a bunch of money, right? Hit pause on that. Series 150 on my ACOS tends to be my cutoff. When I get to 150, I'm like, man, now I'm spending way more than I'm making, and I'm no longer comfortable with that. The rest of these are at 135, 127. I'm okay with losing a little bit on that. Let that run. The one thing you're going to see is all of this stuff up here that you're thinking, well, gosh, what's going on here? I mean, there's no ACOS, but I am spending a little bit, right? You're spending so little that it can't populate any data for you, but you are getting impressions, right? So in general, leave those running unless you just happen to spot one that's spent a whole bunch of money. You really won't see that. I've caught a few every once in a while, but in general, just if you've got no ACOS data and you're not spending a whole bunch of money on it, let it run. It's fine. It's just contributing to your impressions, and that's good enough. Don't forget to go on down here once we've done that. Campaign settings, and I don't think you don't need to save this. That's right. I've checked on that before. All right. I am going to go ahead and close that down, and so that's how easy it is to go into one of these ads, find out which of the keywords is costing you money, and just pause that keyword, right? That's going to tweak that ad. You come back in a couple of days, see if your ACOS has hit the tipping point. Here's another one that I've spent $1,000 on. I know some people, have to do some deep breathing looking at that number, but again, this is really close to my acceptable ACOS, right? I spent $1,000 and made $600, and it's getting hella impressions, right? It's getting a lot of impressions there. I really, really like that it's getting so many impressions. The one thing that I'm going to tell you about ads, if you are in Kindle Unlimited, and you definitely should be, your ads are not showing you your Kindle Unlimited page reads. It's not factoring that in, right? So this is one of those ads where at 160 with 2 million impressions, there's no way for me to accurately gauge how many page reads I'm getting from Kindle Unlimited customers. But my suspicion, my hunch is it's a bunch. This is only costing me $10 a day. It's been going since November, so it's been a very slow burn. Yes, I've spent $1,000, but it's been a slow $1,000. I'm okay with this ad, even being over 150. I'm good with this. I am going to pop into the back end on that, and we're just going to take a look at the keywords and see if there are any that we can help a little bit. Click all. Okie doke. And then we are gonna ACOS. There we go. Wow. You might want to get get a sandwich or something. It's going to take me a while to get to the bottom of this list. Right here I was looking at this just to make sure that the spending there wasn't off the rail. Gracious. The 39 steps. Go figure. The 39 steps is people are looking up the 39 steps and deciding to buy my book anyways. Great. So again, the lower the A costs here, the better for us. We want to go up and we want to look for the ones that are 100 or above. Books. It's getting a lot of impressions. Let's go all the way up here. What do we got? Lee Child. It's costing me a bunch of money to advertise to Lee Child readers, and you're gonna find that for whatever reason. I think probably because of the movies. Lee Child it costs a lot at the moment. 34 cents. That's a lot of money. I've spent $5 there and only made 99 cents. Let's see if we can help this ad out by pausing that. Political thriller. I'm really not okay with that either. We're going to pause that. Tom Clancy. Let's go ahead and pause that. Gosh, he's getting us a bunch of impressions there. I'm going to turn this back on. I'm going to turn Tom Clancy back on because, again, a bunch of impressions, right? And I don't know how many of those impressions are ending up in my Kindle page reads. Dean Koontz, this is off the beaten path. Get rid of that. Stephen King. People who read Stephen King aren't going to like my books. Get rid of that. Book. Over 1 million impressions, right? So I've spent some money there. I've made money. I'm okay with this being a loss leader here. And again, I know some people are going, gosh, are you kidding me? For me, because I've got 2 other books that are making money, this balances out in the wash. I'm okay with leaving that. For you, if you've only got 1 book, this is going to be an unacceptable loss right here, right? You might be getting a bunch of impressions from it, but you're not making enough money. Wait till you get 2 or 3 books on the market, and then you can use your first book as a loss leader right there. So the rest of these, I'm just going to make sure that none of them are Nora Roberts, and that's okay. Naval fiction. I'm gonna let that run. Yeah, sometimes I just make random decisions. And all the rest of these are looking okay. So on these, that's something I never really even thought about. Clear and Present Danger. I never would have picked the title, as it were, but it's worked out so well. It's worked out well for me. So for these are the 4 that you can go and see, and I've taken those out. Stephen King and Dean Koontz are both horror authors, and people who read their books are not going to want to read Nobleman, right? So you're wasting your time there. For these 2, it was just way too much. Hey, I spent $4 and $5 here to make $1. It's too much. I left this because Tom Clancy, people who like Tom Clancy tend to like my books. And again, because it's my first book, I'm okay with it being a little bit of a loss leader. Every once in a while, when you are looking at your campaigns, be sure to go in and preview the ads so you see which of your campaigns, which of your texts are performing well versus which of your texts are not performing well. So this one I had Like Will Robbie, Love Mitch Rapp, Meet Jake Noble, Find Out Why Reviewers Are Raving About Nobleman, Read Today. And this was at 160, okay? So that worked out pretty well for me, right? That was a pretty good text. I might use that again and just take a little bit more care with my keywords. You can see here, what did I do? I forgot to name my stupid campaign, so my gut tells me that this was an automatic keywords. These were keywords that Amazon helped me with. Obviously this one didn't really go very well, but it didn't go terrible either. So that's how I tweaked that particular ad campaign at 164. Let me see if I can show you one of my see if I can. Again, like I said, I'm not editing this. This is all real time. I'm just you're seeing this as I'm seeing this. Okay, here we go. So to tell you how great some of the automatic and suggested keywords here on my Nobleman box set, I spent $3 to make $23, and those were keywords suggested by Amazon. On Noble Intent, suggested keywords, I spent $3 and made $30. Hey, great, man. So a lot of people trying to teach Amazon AMS ads will tell you don't use those automatic keywords because they don't work and it's just going to waste your money. Those automatic keywords can definitely work. So now you've seen that's exactly what I do to tweak my ads, and obviously I didn't go through all of them. I just did a couple of the outliers, but you can see how easy it is if you discipline yourself to take an hour a day, on Saturdays and go through your ads, right? You can just tweak those really quick, right? Don't make big changes, like you see I just did. Pause 1 or 2 words at a time and just see how that changes that ad. Come back to it in another week, and then you can continue to change from there, and you can really tweak these to make them work for you. It's pretty easy. One of the other things that I wanted to touch on real quick, it was very important, and now I can't remember what it was. Yeah, no, I don't remember. Sorry. If I remember, I'll come back to it later. The one thing I'll tell you is don't be afraid to put up a bunch of ads. Change the wording to your ads. See which one works really well, and just don't be afraid to sort of kind of throw things against the wall here and see what works. Like I said, Amazon's going to spend your money so slowly that you really have room to play here. You have a little bit of elbow room to maneuver, and things aren't going to go drastically off the rails. That's it for this video. Sorry, I tried to keep this short, but obviously that did not work. Anyway, this has been William Miller for Literary Rebel, and that's how I tweak my AMS ads to make sure that I'm earning more than I'm spending in general. Alright, thank you for listening.